Today, we are going to look at some of the finer details of the John Wick's universe and decode its inner workings, while also figuring out what does the future hold for John Wick. So buckle up. First, the coin. Now, the coins in John Wick are a bit of a mystery, simply because how they are used throughout the 4 movies. They are used randomly, without mentioning any value to any item. We know they are minted in Morocco, somewhere close to Elder's location, who clearly wants to stay in control by staying around the most important piece of his empire. Now we need to be aware that these coins are not the only way to transact in the John Wick world, because we have seen the high table dealing in dollars every time they put a bounty on John Wick's head. So then the coin's real value is only in exchange of services within the network, and there must be a way to sell them back to the high table for money. Though if that is the case, it is a surprise why would John Wick keep those coins rather than selling them back when he quit. On top of that, we see once the coin being used to buy 2 drinks at the Continental's bar, and another time to get John Wick being operated upon. Not really equal footing, is it? Second, the cleaning squad. The cleaning squad is a team that cleans up after the kills done by the high table and their teams to keep the organization safe from authorities and questions. We see them in John Wick 1 and then in John Wick 3 when we see the underbelly of the Continental, where they are seen bringing in dead bodies for fumigation. They are a clearly labeled job within this universe and expect to see one at each designated hotel of the high table. His suit, John Wick's suit, has gone through 2 upgrades during these films, which you have to assume was the norm when he retired. In John Wick 2, we see his suit upgraded to a bulletproof lining which stops the bullets but hurts like hell. And then finally, in John Wick 4, he gets a suit with Kevlar linings which no longer hurt as bad while still keeping him safe. Which is why you see him moving around like holding his jacket in front of his face all the time. But yeah, that's what makes John Wick immune to normal bullets. Armor-piercing bullets in John Wick 4 are a different matter altogether. The high table. This is the centerpiece of the John Wick universe. And by now we know it is basically an amalgamation of the 12 top mafia families in the world who control everything illegal. They don't need to like each other, and they don't. But they work under the same currency and the same set of rules. It is like having the world's 12 biggest bank headquartered in the same building. Their staff move between the banks, they eat in the same cafeterias and restaurants, transact using the building's food coupons, have the same reception. They even use the same washrooms and lifts and have the same landlord, the Elder. The only members of this table that we know of are Kamura and Raskaroma. The likely participants would also include the Yakuza, Japanese, Triad, Chinese, Bratwa, Russian Mafia, Costa Nostra, the Italian Mafia. It would also be safe to assume that there must be one family each from the Arab, India, Africa, US and Mexico here. That would make it 11 and absolutely close to the max number of 12 seats. The Elder. Now dead, the Elder was the supposed head of the high table until he decided to take John Wick's wedding ring. I mean, talk about high horse. Only fair that John Wick came on horses to kill this son of a bitch. However, what is unknown is if he will have successors or this will allow the high table to implode and go for a war between families. That would be some John Wick 5, wouldn't it? John's origin. John was raised by Raskaroma, which is where he became the killer he was. He was then recruited by the Russian Mafia of Vigo, who we see in the first film. He obviously worked there for a long period, post which he quit them by doing an unthinkable assignment that even Vigo did not think it was possible. Time period of the entire 4 films. Now these 4 films tell a story of John Wick from his wife's death to his death in a serialized manner. Given how the activities have happened, it is safe to calculate the total period across the 4 films was within 45 to 60 days at the max. The first and the second films happened within a week, while the third film is a week within itself at max. The last film has the most amount of travel involved, but barring John Wick's recovery from the fall, it still happens within a period of 3 to 4 weeks. Add Wick's recovery time of 2 weeks, we have a 45 to 60 day window between these films. Sequel in the works. The John Wick universe has a list of films and series in the works to further elaborate on this universe. The first to come will be the TV series, titled The Continental, streaming this September. The series is set in the 70s and will surely introduce us to the character of Winston as a youngster while delving deeper into some of the members of the high table. Next will be Ballerina, a feature film starring Ana de Armas as the Raskaroma ballerina assassin, whose character was teased with in the 3rd chapter of John Wick. And the most curious one of the list is surely John Wick 5, which is oddly going to answer the biggest question of them all. Is John Wick still alive? If yes, this film has to be him taking on the entire high table and raining havoc of some magnanimous proportions. There are obviously more possibilities with this franchise, with separate films possible for a host of the characters, from the Brewery King to Kane to Akira, and many more we might not even know yet. So that's a recap of the John Wick universe. Let us know what you think about it, and if you have any further thoughts of something that I might have missed. This is Highly Recommended, your only spoiler-free movie recommendation channel. Follow us for more.